all dosha or excess accumulation of these energetic qualities of nature, which we call Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. When we come into this life with a certain constitution and excesses, it's because of karmic attachment to that emotional experience. So with Vata in the body, when it's in excess, it's really high. It's a catabolic experience. It's breaking down. It's reducing, cleansing. In a healthy way, it's just cleansing and breaking down and reducing. When it becomes in excess, it's tearing down and diminishing. It's wasting. Mm-hmm. So it can create emaciation and weakness in the physical body, but it also creates a reduction of self, a diminishment of who I believe I am, my worthiness, a reduction of, in the same way it can create a perfectionism because I'm always striving for something that I can't reach because I'm not enough, right? So it's it's an internal self-deprecation. So when you are describing to me that, oh, I can't even remember an early memory or imprint, and sure, there were familial contributions, but that's also because you came into this life with a karmic attachment that you were destined to resolve and heal and work through, and therefore you entered into an early childhood experience that mimicked that so that it could highlight that for you in this life so that you could work through that and heal that and restore true, self-worth and health and wholeness on that level. So these are the kind of metaphysical, if you will, connections. And then when it comes to restoration and healing and the path of wholeness, well, then part of it is being able to cultivate your ability to consistently, over longer and longer stretches of time, reside in and sit in the seat of your true self, which is the aspect of you that has been witnessing you go through these doshic patterns and stages and phases throughout lifetimes and lifetimes of experiences and impressions and imprints. And that part of you is all wise, all knowing, it's eternal. Therefore, it's all patient. There's no pressure, no rush, because it's eternal. It has all the time in existence. So you know that you're residing in that seat of self, capital S self, when you experience a general patience and a curiosity and a compassion. There's also a courage that arises because it knows that the fluctuations that it's witnessing aren't real in the absolute sense. They're real to your inner experience. And that's where compassion comes in and, the softness and the gentleness with that. But they're not real in the eternal sense, meaning they're fluctuating and moving and transient. And so the courage is in, oh, I'm ready to face that and to lean into that and not to be afraid of that experience and that contraction and that pattern. It's like, okay, here I am. I'm open. I'm residing in this space of connectedness. I'm connected to my source. I'm connected to my higher truth. I'm connected to compassion, to my true self, my real self. And so part of residing in the seat of self is prioritizing your spiritual practice, whatever that practice is that makes you feel really connected to your true self in that eternal spaciousness of wonder, of humility, of reverence, of sometimes solitude and quiet, that place that you can reside in that is free from affliction, free from those fluctuations. It's beyond those fluctuations. And it's witnessing and honoring the movement of those fluctuations, but as an observer. And so that could look like the repetition of mantra. That can look like the singing of song, of chanting, of being in music and of beauty in a way that just feels authentic to you, in a way that's not performative or to try to gain some kind of fruit, like being looked at as special or being receiving accolades or position or prestige, those kinds of things. So it's like just for you, just by grace, just because of love, just because of being. And so for some people, they're really inclined towards meditation. For some people, they're really inclined towards ritualistic worship, like in certain traditions, certain acts of ritual. Some people just experience that and can commune with that when they're perfectly residing in nature, in the serenity of nature, and surrounded by the worship of all of creation to consciousness. And so whatever that is for you, it has to be the priority in the life, and it has to be also prioritized to some degree in the earliest morning part of the day. Because the early part of the day, especially pre-dawn, pre-sunrise, is analogous to the dawn of our life. So the entrance of our soul into this body, which is where we came into with this certain life lesson experience unfolding. And so when we cultivate that every day in the early morning, when the veils are thin between us, the physical world and the spiritual world, and we can perceive them more, they're always available 24/7 and you can tap into it. But the environment supports a serenity that allows a subtle sensitivity to it before what we call in Ayurveda, rajas and tamas takes over and puts you into action for the day. It's a sattvic, more serene, more sensitive time window of the day that's also analogous to the early morning of the early life, where we're just born and now we're creating new imprints, new healthy samskaras or impressions in your whole being that will then allow you to cultivate more of this residing in this seat of your true self, because you set that stage for the whole day and then you set that stage for your lifespan. So each day we practice that. And so I encourage you to do that and to prioritize that. And we can talk about more details of what that looks like too for you.